58,000 names are etched in this polished black granite wall. Names like Gary Dempsey, James Glover, Thomas Adams, Richard Bowman. Since 1982, this simplistic memorial to Vietnam veterans who lost their life on the other side of the world is visited by some 3 million people every year. As those visitors descend below ground level along the path of the wall, the effect is a sobering experience.
First and foremost, you have to understand that this is not a memorial to the Vietnam War. This is a memorial to the Vietnam veterans. It's never been political, it's never been military. It's about those who answered the call to service and made the ultimate sacrifice to their country.
Jim Knotts leads the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, the group that raised money to build the wall 35 years ago.
The question that I hear all the time about Vietnam is, well, what's next? What's next for the wall? What's next for our Vietnam veterans?
The answer is an education center to be built across the street from the wall near the Lincoln Memorial.
That's where people will really get a better idea of what it means to have 58,000 names on the wall, 58,000 lives cut short, families forever affected. We're going to have educational presentations so you can understand things like, why did our country decide to send troops to Vietnam? What were their motivations for going? What were their motivations for staying? And then eventually, what were their motivations for leaving? What were we trying to accomplish, and why was it necessary for 58,000 Americans to serve and to give their lives?
It's also a way to show more respect to those returning soldiers who weren't treated well when coming back from Vietnam. These days, returning troops are celebrated at ceremonies like this one recently in Smyrna, honoring Delaware Army National Guard members returning after supporting the fight against ISIS in Iraq and Syria. U.S. Senator from Delaware Tom Carper, who served 3 tours as a Navy flight officer in Vietnam, was part of the Welcome Home Committee.
When my squadron came back to California, I can assure you the governor wasn't there, U.S. senators were not there, congressmen, attorney general. We were happy to be home, but I'm not so sure everybody else was.
He's looking forward to seeing how the Education Center will continue to tell the story of the Vietnam veterans he served with.
I think that memorial is just incredibly beautiful and moving, and it does tell the story that a lot of people served over there. A lot of people laid down their lives. I think the idea of having better telling the story would be terrific. I'd love to see that done.
One way the story will be told is through pictures. The Memorial Fund Group is collecting photos of every veteran who's listed on the wall, all 58,000.
You really get a sense that this was a complete life. This was a person with hopes and dreams, with family, with friends, with buddies. They were high school athletes, they were college leaders. They really run the gamut of our society in every facet.
They've collected more than 50,000 photos so far.
We've made great progress. Delaware, actually, we received the last photo for those from Delaware earlier in 2017. And right now today, we have 117 that we need from New Jersey and 68 from Pennsylvania.
In addition to the wall, the southern end of the National Mall is already home to some of the most recognizable monuments in the world, spanning from the Lincoln Memorial, up the massive reflecting pool to the World War II Memorial, and eventually the Washington Monument. Organizers hope the Education Center at the wall will be a starting point for visitors to the mall.
This is a project that will cost about $130 million, and we've made a great deal of progress, raising just over a third of that at $42 million, but we have a long way to go.